The Odysseus Dawn had seen its share of impossible things in the outer reaches of Andromeda Sector, but nothing quite prepared the crew for what Lieutenant Sarah Chen brought aboard from the crystalline caves of Dracon 7. "It's about the size of my palm," Sarah explained to Captain Marcus Rivera as the tiny creature nestled against her neck, its scales shimmering like liquid mercury under the ship's artificial lighting. "The xenobiology team said it's a juvenile Draconis stellaris, a stellar dragon. They're supposed to be extinct." Marcus leaned closer, his weathered face softening at the sight. The dragon, no bigger than a coffee mug, yawned, revealing rows of translucent teeth that sparkled like diamonds. Its wings, folded against its serpentine body, looked like stained glass catching sunlight that didn't exist in the depths of space. "Regulations say," Marcus began. "Regulations also said there was no intelligent life on Dracon 7, Sarah interrupted gently. "Sir, this little one chose me. When the cave collapsed during our survey, it flew to me. Not to Kozlov, not to Park, me." The dragon chirped, a sound like wind chimes mixed with a purr, and nuzzled deeper into the collar of Sarah's uniform. Marcus sighed, the corner of his mouth twitching upward. 2 weeks. We observe, we document, and when we reach Outpost Meridian, the Xenobiology Institute takes over. Understood?" "Yes, sir. Thank you, sir." By day 3, the entire crew of the Odysseus Dawn had fallen hopelessly in love. The dragon, whom Sarah had named Ember despite its silver coloring, had developed a peculiar habit. Whenever Sarah sat at her station on the bridge, Ember would circle her twice, chirp 3 times, and then settle on her back, nestled between her shoulder blades. The tiny creature would stretch its wings across her shoulders like a living shawl, its warm body pressed against her spine. "It's the heat," Dr. Yuki Tanaka explained during lunch in the mess hall, where Ember had become the star attraction. "Humans run hot compared to most species we've encountered. Your body temperature is probably perfect for a juvenile dragon that would normally huddle near volcanic vents." "That's adorable and sad at the same time," murmured Ensign Rodriguez, who'd been caught 3 times trying to take photos for his daughter back on Earth. Sarah shifted slightly as Ember readjusted, tiny claws gripping her uniform without piercing the fabric. The dragon's tail wrapped around her waist like a belt, and she could feel the gentle rise and fall of its breathing synchronized with her own. "How's she doing up there?" Chief Engineer Williams asked, his gruff voice considerably softer than usual. "Fast asleep," Sarah replied, smiling. "I think she's dreaming. Her wings keep twitching." The mess hall collectively released a sound that could only be described as a suppressed awe. The trouble started on day 7. "Contact, Captain," Sarah called from her station, Ember still drowsing on her back. 3 Crixian raiders, bearing 227 Mark IV. They're demanding we surrender our cargo. The Crixians were known across 5 sectors as merciless pirates, 8 feet of chitinous armor and bad attitude, with plasma weapons that could shred a ship's hull like tissue paper. Marcus stood, his jaw set. "Battle stations. Divert power to shields." As the crew scrambled to their posts, something unexpected happened. Ember woke up. The tiny dragon lifted its head from Sarah's shoulder, its eyes, previously a soft amber, now glowing with an intense blue light. It released a sound that wasn't a chirp or a purr, but something ancient and powerful, a frequency that made the ship's hull vibrate. On the view screen, the Crixian lead ship suddenly veered off course. "Captain," said Park from Tactical, his voice confused. "They're retreating. All 3 ships. Full burn. They're running." "Running from what?" Marcus demanded. Dr. Tanaka's console lit up with readings. "Captain, the dragon just emitted a psionic pulse. It's marking Sarah, and by extension, our ship, as protected territory. I'm reading residual psionic signatures that translate roughly to..." She paused, checking her scanner again. "This human is claimed by Fireborn. Death to those who threaten..." Every eye on the bridge turned to Ember, who had settled back down on Sarah's back, chirping contentedly as if nothing had happened. "Did that little thing just threaten 3 pirate ships into running away?" Rodriguez asked, incredulous. "Not threatened," Tanaka corrected, a smile spreading across her face. "Promised. Apparently, adult stellar dragons are apex predators on a galactic scale. By claiming Sarah, Ember just declared that anyone hurting her would have to answer to its entire family." Sarah reached back carefully, letting one finger stroke Ember's tiny head. The dragon leaned into the touch, rumbling with pleasure. "That's the most human thing I've ever heard an alien creature do," Williams said, his voice thick with emotion. "Pick someone and decide they're yours to protect, like a dog or a best friend." Day 14 arrived too quickly. The Odysseus Dawn docked at Outpost Meridian, where 3 xenobiologists waited with specialized containment units and excited expressions. Sarah stood in the docking bay, Ember sleeping peacefully on her back, and felt her heart breaking. Lieutenant Chen, Dr. Ashworth, the lead xenobiologist, approached carefully. "What you've discovered is extraordinary. This creature could teach us." Ember woke. The dragon took one look at the containment units and the strangers, then burrowed under Sarah's hair, trembling. "She's scared," Sarah said quietly. Captain Marcus stepped forward. "Dr. Ashworth, I have a proposal. Lieutenant Chen has proven capable of caring for the dragon. What if we allowed her to continue as primary caretaker, with regular check-ins and reports to your institute? That's highly irregular. So is a species we thought was extinct choosing a human as its guardian," Marcus interrupted. "So is that human accidentally becoming part of the Galactic Diplomatic Corps because her dragon friend scares pirates away with pure love and loyalty?" Dr. Ashworth looked at Sarah, at the tiny dragon peeking out from behind her neck, at the entire crew of the Odysseus Dawn, who had gathered in the bay, wearing expressions that dared him to refuse. He sighed, then smiled. "I suppose we could classify this as an extended field study. Lieutenant Chen, you're now officially a xenobiological research partner. Congratulations!" The cheer that erupted from the crew could probably be heard on the station's other side. That night, Sarah sat in her quarters, completing her daily log. Ember sprawled across her back as always, wings spread wide, tail wrapped secure. Through her thin shirt, she could feel the dragon's heartbeat. Steady, strong, trusting. "You know," she whispered, "I was supposed to be studying mineral deposits on that planet. Instead, I got you," Ember chirped sleepily. "Yeah," Sarah smiled, wiping at her eyes. "Best discovery of my life, too." Outside her window, stars wheeled past in their ancient dance, and somewhere in those depths, an entire species of dragons felt the bond between one of their youngest and a human who offered her warmth, her protection, and her back as a bed. In the end, perhaps that was the most human thing of all, to see something small and scared and choose to love it fiercely, completely, without reservation. The universe was vast and often cold. But here, in this small cabin on a ship called Odysseus Dawn, 2 hearts beat as one, and the stars themselves seemed to shine a little brighter for it.